Hey, so, accidentally hit, pause, stop, yeah, so, I guess I go more into depth on what I'm doing and try to keep it organized, because it's already hard to follow. But like I said, decided I was going to try to create myself into the me I wish to be. And I just started taking the necessary steps to achieve that. Training martial arts, but I did it on my own. Not really. So this is why I was kind of going into everything's information so light. I use geography. Geography's understanding of a three-dimensional plane, like how to find a three-dimensional plane of existence. Or not three-dimensional plane, but how to find a plane of existence. And it takes 3 points to find a plane. So, Poochie Poo, hey, 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 hey little girl, hey little girl. So, 3 points to make a plane in geometry, right? What that means is like a graph. Like a graph's concept of like a plane of existence. So what I did was the sun being my input, the tree being my ground, and me being the third point. I I oriented myself in these positions, and in addition to meditation and imagination and desire and organize, what I did, I started working with elements, like elemental training, and they just kind of like came to me through the spirit. Like, I would say I connected with the spirit, like the Holy Spirit. Like, if you think of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, as the completed spirit, the spirit from which we are all made from and we all go back to, like an energy. Like, if you thought of the Earth's atmosphere as an aura, it's just a small example. But if you thought of the Earth's atmosphere as an aura, that was basically made up of all the life on the Earth's aura, unified. Like, all that aura together makes one big protective shield for us. I'm just saying, like, if you thought about it like that, obviously that's, science is really gonna have fucking trouble with that one. But, maybe we don't need more arguments when so many things already, like, we already have found common ground on. That's what I mean. This is always going to spark more spontaneous thoughts because, to prove that, again with the 3 points to find that something has a plane of existence there. In the beginning, let there be light, was said. Science version, the Big Bang Theory. In the Bible, supposedly, I didn't even know this until I started trying to prove that science and the Bible were saying a lot of the same stuff, or coming up with a lot of the same answers. Just their start points are different. Like, science is disbelief and trying to prove it's wrong, or trying to prove it's wrong, and then if it's right, okay, then we proved or then it is proved right. But whereas religion is, we believe it's true because it says it's here, and when we put it into practice, it proves true. So and then science being very logical and straightforward, some of the metaphors get misunderstood, and they're hard to interpret because it's what did this person mean who was it being wrote about, not what is my personal opinion. Although that being that this is where the Bible really does start to become mind-blowing, is that it has infinite meaning. Anybody can read this thing and find a way to relate it to themselves and improve. Like you could read the story of Jesus, the story of David and Goliath, St. Christopher, St. Francis. You could read so many stories of these awesome people, saints, whatever they are, and every time you read them, depending on where you are in life, it'll speak to you differently. But okay, so science version of the Big Bang, or science version of Let There Be Light, is the Big Bang. So then this is where I was trying to, then the second one, I'll go right to the middle one. The flood, right? So the flood is saying that there is a sun in the sky and it produces a light, but the rainbow doesn't occur during rainstorms or anything. Somehow there's never been a rainbow yet, right? So the light somehow doesn't contain a rainbow, meaning that during the storms that created the flood, what was causing those storms might have been this, or suggestively, is the sun going through an evolution from whatever, a yellow giant to a white dwarf, or whatever it is, whatever the evolutionary state was, or process from to was, in the completion of these storms and the settling down, the result was a light that now contained more, a light that had more to it, that now it had a rainbow effect. When, the sun became something more. The sun became able to produce a more complete light, a light with more in it than that was there before. And science says that the sun will go through evolutions. And when you see how relative and related the sun's storms are to Earth's atmosphere, the flooding makes sense. Like solar flares and stuff like that. Science could explain it better, but seeing the big picture is kind of something you gotta step back from, though. Like, I don't know. It's difficult. And then the third one, this is the one I didn't know about, that the Bible said anyway, is that the Bible said that all the stars will come, onto Earth or whatever, will come down and fall onto Earth. And in science, they say that there's going to be a big collapse at the end of at the end of time, or at the end of our universe, solar system, this area of the universe, whatever it is. So basically, everything's going to contract upon each other. Basically, which means it would get really cold. Heat makes molecules space apart further. Cold makes them contract to where the distance is less. So basically, the universe is somehow like a balloon. It seemingly, or a container. Whether the container expands or not, I don't know. But There's definitely something. You know, if science is saying that everything's spreading apart, if everything's still going away from each other, then it's heating up. And then you have to wonder, is the big collapse, or when everything comes back, just a compression before another explosion, and it's just one big cycle? You know, like, because then it comes back to like your heartbeat at that point. Like, and again with the magic kind of stuff. This was supposed to be me explaining what I'm doing. Well, this is where I'm at, I guess. Like, this is the kind of stuff I think about. It really, I don't know if it's any more helping me get to where I want to be, or just a result of trying to incorporate helping others on my journey to helping myself. Because you find out people, like, whether they know they're doing it or not, will just start like kind of taking advantage of you. Like if you're just giving freely. And that's what I mean. Like, this is where it's weird, because I wasn't asking for anything in the beat, you know, like I'm saying, like, I'll do, you know, I'll offer a hand here where I'm willing to offer a hand. And then, you know, people will want to help me back, but they won't really be willing to help me. They'll give me something that they didn't actually, I don't know, later on they regret giving it, you know, or whatever. But even worse than that, I find, because this one really comes off as like people trying to rip you off. And like me, I'm offering my help for free, not asking anything. And then all of a sudden they'll start offering all this stuff. And I'll be like, whoa, wait, hold on. You know, that's, you know, you don't need to do that. And no, we want da-da-da. So then it's like, okay, now I'm counting on that. But, and then when I come to get what they said they wanted to give me, like all of a sudden I turn into a bad, like they, you know, they start, you know, turning, like all of a sudden, like, out of just accusing me of something. And I'm like, I never asked for anything. You know, I just was helping. And then you started offering and created this issue out of it. It's like, I don't know, one thing I've noticed too is me trying to improve myself, but it's not so much that. Somehow I create insecurities. Either I make somebody insecure, or I make them like happy that there's someone like me around. I don't know. You get these interesting responses to me. I don't know if this one will go up or not. Yeah, it probably will. I don't know, the more comfortable I get, the less I stop saying awkward. The less I will be saying awkward things like that. Well, I mean, I'm coming up to the road, and I guess this is probably as interesting of a night as it's gonna get for now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. See you guys then. Much love, brothers and sisters.